Okay, so what is the issue over here? The reference is of the child and the object is of the parents are not possible. We will have to do it. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's now make a new class called as person. Okay, we had made person, right? So how many attributes are there in the class person? Three attributes, right? So if I want to, so total how many data are there? Three. So if I want to make a constructor, how many instance variable will I initialize? This is which constructor? Which constructor? Hmm? Okay. And if I want to add a all args constructor, then it looks something like this. First argument is of what type? String name. So it will be like this, right? Name equals to name, correct? Second argument is of what type? So it will be like what? And third argument is of what type? So it will be address. Okay. So and if I want to display the student, what will I write? Display person. Okay. So I will write this out. Name is what? Whenever you try to extend the instance variable, use what? And then age is this dot age. And address is this dot address. Okay. Now this person becomes an employee. So what we do? Class employee extends person. Now how many total data members over here? Person had public protected. So how many now? In the employee, how many total? Six. So if I write a no args constructor over here, so you have to initialize the number of variables you have. So total how many variables does the employee class have? So it has to initialize six things. What are the six things it has to initialize? It has to initialize the name, age, and address, correct? And it also has to initialize the employee number 101, this dot designation, and this dot salary equals to 10. Okay. If I would write a parameterized constructor, then how many parameters does the employee class have now? Three from here, right? Three from here. Which are they? Three things from here. And so now this will be what? This code, right? Correct. Now what is left? These are e number. Now over here, right? Integer e number. We will say what? E number. And then in designation equals to and comma third thing double salary will be okay. If I have to display then if I have to display the employee, then how many things you have to display? How many things do I have to display? Six things, right? So three things from here and three things from here. Okay. And now I have to go and make object of. So if I make an object of employee, this object is made using which constructor? Constructor, right? So if with EMP1 I say display employee, what will be the output? The output which the no args constructor is giving, which is name is, age is 18, Pune 101, manager 9000, correct? All default values correct. If I make a object now EMP2 and I want to use this constructor, now how many things I have to pass to it? Six things I have to pass to it, right? So first is employee name, then is age, then his address, then his employee number, then his designation, then his salary. And now with if I EMP2 if I display, what will it display me? I comment out this. What will the output? Correct? The object which we have used. Okay. So what is this the display person doing? Any idea this function? It is displaying me all the attributes of this class, correct? Okay. So we have one more feature in Java. Okay. So if there is a okay, now this is the object. Okay. So this is I will use the this is which tape, Umar? Pentagon? Oh, this is a pen. I will use a pentagon to depict a object going forward for the entire course. Okay, so what is the shape for a object? Pentagon. So this is the pentagon object now. Yes or no? So this is an object. This is an object. His name is Virat. Okay, so this is I'm putting a colon in between, and this is the attribute name and the value. Correct? And I will depict an object with a an object notation will always be now this is an object. This is an object. Making sense? Okay. Now what is this? What is this? This is a string. This is a string. What is this? What is this? This is a what is this? This is an array or a list. Array or you can call it as list. Getting it? So what is happening over here? Can anyone tell me? What are we doing? Object to string conversion. Okay. So if there is a son who is working in a metropolitan city and his father is staying in some native place and he gets to know that his father is not feeling well. Let's say he is working in Nagpur and the father is in some remote village, let's say Bid, okay, somewhere. So while coming for what is Nagpur famous for? Oranges, right? So he takes a crate of orange, the top quality oranges, and he puts it in his car. So what are there in this crate? Oranges, and the most costliest orange. And now when he comes to his hometown, as he is entering the house, he is at the entrance, he is entering and a doctor is coming out of the house. So he says, "There's doctor, how is my father now?" The doctor says that his stomach is upset. So I have prescribed liquid diet for him for the next 2 weeks. So make sure that next 2 weeks he does not chew anything, and whatever nutrition is given to him, it should be given in liquid form. Now these oranges which the son has bought, he says now I had bought for my father, and he cannot chew. So what I will do, he disposes them and dumps them in the dustbin. Wise decision or not so wise decision? Why? Yes. So what he does is instead of dumping it into a dustbin, okay, he takes them to the kitchen. In the kitchen there is an appliance. Which appliance? Juicer. So what you do to the juicer appliance? What input do you give? What is the input of the juicer? What is the output? What input will you give? What output will it give you? Yes. So you will feed oranges to it, right? What will you feed to it? Oranges. So all these oranges one by one it will feed as input. And what will the mixer juicer give you? Orange juice, correct? It will give you orange juice. So what is this appliance doing? It is converting from fruit to juice, correct? So it is trying to take the input as a fruit and convert it into a juice. Similarly, in programming, we have two string function. What we have? Which function? Two string function. Now, what is this? This is a okay. And what is this? So we have a converter. We have a converter. It will take an object. What will we give to that converter? What will be the input to that? It will take the object. And what will it do to the object? It will convert into a string and give us. So what is that converter called as? What is that converter called as? To string. What is that converter called as? So the to string will take input as a string. So whenever there will be a need, now the system, okay, this employee one, employee two, what is it? Object or string? Object. The system dot out dot println requires data in which format? It requires the data in string format. So the father requires food in which format? The father requires food in liquid format. But the son has bought what? Solid. So we need a mechanism which converts solid to liquid. What is that? Juicer. So here the println function requires which format? But what am I giving to it? So what should be there? There should be a mechanism which converts object to string. And who does that? So in your class, this object is of which class? So in the employee class, you have two string function. So now don't need to write this display now going forward. What we can do is directly right click, source, and do you see this? What do you read over here? And I click on that, it generates me a two string. You can add whatever you want to display. Okay, you also want to display the inherited fields also what? Do you only want to display the fields of the employee class or do you also want to display the inherited fields also? All the inherited fields or some inherited fields. So select over here, we will select all and then do generate. So it will generate your two string. See, it is a string format. What is it? Okay. So now going forward, when I go over here and this is not there, so I'll directly say what? EMP2. So I'm the println to the println function. I'm giving what format, and the println requires in which format. So it will go and check this object is of which class, which class. So if it in the employee class, you'll go and check is there two string function, and this will be invoked implicitly. To string is invoked when is it employed implicitly? When there arises a need to convert from object to string. So if there arises a need to convert from object to string, implicitly it will call the toString function. No need to call it explicitly. So has the need over here to convert from object to string? Yes. So it will go and check is there toString function. Yes, right? So it will invoke the toString and you will get output like this. Employee, then square bracket like this. Let's check it out. Right click, run as. Getting it? The same format. If you look over here, see over here. Employee is this employee. Then square bracket e number equal to is this. And value is coming from where? Value is coming from this dot e number. Okay. These are all your instance variable. You can add a this also if you want. So it's up to you. Yes or no? If there would be no juicer at home, then what was the option? If there is no juicer at home, then what would be the option? Then there would be no option than to dump this in the dustbin. Correct? So now, is there a toString function? I've commented it. Yes or no? No. So now, do I have any mechanism of converting from object to string now? So every object is given a hash code. Given a, it is some alphanumeric code. It is some alphanumeric code. It will display the hash code of that object. See, got it? Some alphanumeric code. Why? Because it there is no mechanism to convert this object into a string. So it displayed the hash code of the object. Yes or no? So what does the toString function do? String. And it is very easy to write. Just you have to go to the editor and do it. Right? Did I write this code? Did I write this code explicitly? I just went to the use the editor, correct? Now there is a tragedy at your college end. Okay. So to avoid code duplication, now see this code which I have written over here, line number 11, 12, 13. Is it not the same code as line number 11 to 13 over here? And this code which I have written over here, line number 21, 22, and 23, is it not the same code of the parent class over here? So this is called code duplication, and code duplication is considered as bad manners or bad etiquettes in the programming field. The manager will not appreciate if you do code duplication. And some softwares in the company, when you write the code and when you submit the code, it will check how many lines of code is duplicated, and it will highlight those lines of code that this code is duplicated. So it will put a remark over there, and that will show the efficiency of the programmer. So it's not good programming style to have a lot of code duplication. So these three lines are duplicated, these three lines are duplicated. So to avoid that, Java has come up with a term called as super. Called as what? Super. So these three are written where? Okay, where am I over here? This is which part of the code? This is the no args constructor, right? Of which class? Of child class, correct? Child or subclass, correct? And this is, what is this? This is the parent or superclass. So from the no args constructor of the subclass, I can invoke the no args constructor of the parent class just by saying what? Super. So this will work the same. And the call to super, okay, in a constructor. Okay, this is in a constructor only. In a constructor, the call to super should be made where? Should be made, yes, from the first line compulsory. Else it will show a compile time error. So if I try to make the super call from line number 2, okay, see what it says. Read the message. What is it telling? What is it telling? Okay, yeah, so like this. And now this is which constructor? All are constructor of which class? Super class. So now these three lines are duplicated over here also. So I can remove that and then I can say super. So if I want to make a parameterized constructor call, how many parameters are there in this constructor? Three. Of what type? String, int and string, right? So when I make that call, I have to pass these three parameters then. So I will pass the name, age and address, and the remaining it will be initialized over here. Correct? Okay. Now let's come back over here. Let's uncomment this function is there, correct? Now if I come back over here, isn't this code also duplicated? Yes or no? Yes or no? So I can directly say super dot. If it is not a constructor, then I have to give the function name. Constructor directly gives super. For non-parameterized super, for parameterized super. But if it is a non-constructor, then you have to give the function name. Then you have to give the function. Okay. Now if I come over here, and now if I have the employee display employee, I can call it from here. Okay. I'll comment this out. So the code will behave perfectly fine. Got it? Okay. So this super, is it from a constructor or non-constructor? The call should be from the first line is only for the non-constructor can call from anywhere. So if I call from the last line, what will be the output? Right? So see, first it will display employee number, salary, and then the person detail. I can call it from anywhere if it is a non-constructor. If I call it from this place, then what will it display last? Last will be salary, correct? Last will be salary. Getting it? How to avoid code duplication in inheritance and what is super keyword? So it is used to invoke your superclass methods or constructor. Directly if you say super, we'll call the constructor, and if you want to call any method, super dot method name. Yes, no, maybe.